Okay, welcome back everybody. Coffee and Art in the Morning. I'm Dede and it's a Friday and I don't stream every Friday, but I'm streaming this one. If you're watching me on YouTube, this is a live show on Ustream.tv with a live chat. So I'm not talking to myself most of the time. So we're going to start with this page right here, and it'll probably be a couple of different segments. You guys know that I'm working in the Bennett Klein sketchbook Dark and doing that vampire girl, and it's going to be a multi-part, and I've got 2 parts already done with that, and I'll probably continue that one on Monday. So I'm using Neocolor 2 water soluble crayons and my Eileen, I named them my Eileen markers, the Real Brush Zig Kuretake watercolor pens, real brush markers, and I'm using that in the Bennett Klein. So I thought on this page I'm going to be working in DayDreams, coloring a color book by Hanna Karlzon, and I'm going to work on this cat. It's not a double page spread, and this paper is pretty thick, but you still, if you want to use any kind of anything that's going to bleed through, you always want to make sure it's not going to bleed through to the other side. This is not not a single-sided page, so you want to be careful. Now what I'm planning on doing on this page is just using my watercolors. This is just a koi watercolor set. It's just a small, well, it's not the smallest set, but it's a small set. And I'm going to use this to base coat everything, and then I'll go back and shade with color pencil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet, let me just move this over for a second so you can see. I'm just going to wet down all my watercolors here. Just get them reconstituted. And I'm going to use a water brush. This is just a Pentel water brush. And I'm going to use this to, Hubster will be going, when I say something. Sorry. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to use, and I'll try to keep it like here. I'm not real zoomed in, and I'm not on my Trippy the tripod to get real close up, but the girls said that it looks fine for this part of the process, which is base coloring. And then after you base color, whether you do it with watercolor, Kuretake, Zig, here, let me get one because the name of them is so long. Whether you use the Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers, which it's not really a marker, it's a brush, it's a real brush watercolor, which we're not going to use these today, but whether you're using these, you're using watercolor, you're using your Neocolor water soluble crayons, or acrylic paint or whatever, to base coat it, you have to make sure it's 100% dry before you start adding shading with your color pencils. You have this set? Yeah, I've had this forever. It's a real old set. You can see it's kind of like all dug into and stuff. And then this tray comes with it, and so you got this tray, you got the lid, so you got lots of little bits and places to, and it does come with the brush too. It's not this brush, but it comes with the water brush as well. But I just use this part for a mixing tray thing. So I'm just going to kind of set that aside. All right, so I think I will start with, I'm going to try to keep it both in camera here so you can see kind of like mixing. All right, and I think I am going to get that wet because let's probably use some of those colors too. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go with kind of a Payne's Gray color cat. And I'll just kind of keep mixing some colors. If you get too much color on your water brush, I found that a Kleenex is the best thing to squeeze out to clean your brush with. It even works better than a paper towel. So I'm just going to kind of go with the blue gray here mixture, and I'm going to base coat the cat, and I'm going to do this is what I'm going to do with everything. If you have any questions, put them in caps. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching. This, again, I'm talking to live chat here. So this will be a blue-gray kitty. And you want to, I like to anyway, I don't say you want to, but you can. I like to keep it, if I'm going to use watercolors, I want to keep that watercolory look. For one, that kind of gives it more oomph, more dimension, more, just more, it's not so flat, and it's just better. I like it. I like it when it's just not, see how it looks watercolory? I want to make sure I keep that, so that when I go to do the shading with color pencil, you're not going to color over every little bit. You can leave some of this background. It's half done for you. The water brush set that comes with it is not that good. Yeah, I haven't used it in, probably, I don't even know where it is, to tell you the truth. These Pentels are my favorite, although different people like different ones, whatever works for you. I'm not endorsed by any of them. All right, so now I'm just going to kind of go in there and a little bit on where the little dots are that are already on the color book page. And remember now, this particular book has a little bit thicker pages, but it's best if you want to layer things up like you do in watercolor. You get it darker and darker and darker, the more layers. It's best if you dry in between, because this is not watercolor paper. It's not watercolor paper. So the more you keep going over a wet area, the more likely you are to pill the paper. So you want to, it's just best if you dry in between. Okay, just saying. And I'm not squeezing out any excess water. I'm just pulling whatever's being pulled through the brush onto the paper, just by the dryness of the paper pulling on it. So I'm not squeezing out any excess water. Okay. If you have any questions, put them in caps. Thanks for watching, everybody. Okay, so I'm just going to stop with that for now. You can always add more layers. And if you want to, keep moving along, then that way, as one section's drying, or just I have a heat gun right here, and I can dry it, right off. So, okay, let me make sure. Let me put a test in my chat, because sometimes chat can freeze and hasn't moved for a minute. There it goes. Welcome back. All right, so, and it seems like everybody, we're all coloring these mushrooms, and I know there's a name for them. I could look it up. I'm not going to right now. But these mushrooms that are red with the white dots, it seems like we're always coloring that. And I think I've already, it's in this particular, yeah, here, see, where I'm doing this one here with the little frog and the different red shaded mushrooms. But I think I want to do something different, because I'm always doing the same red and white mushrooms. Just because, this is a fantasy book. We can make these mushrooms any color we want. So I think I'm going to do them purple. Why not? All right, let's see here. Find a little clean spot there. And again, I want to, do minimum amount of paint at first. And if it starts getting too thick, just kind of pull some off. So we'll have some purple mushrooms instead of red ones. Shrooms. That's right. You're the boss of your color book. That's what I always say. And so also, while we're talking about people that do color books and have videos, and they're awesome, we have Bunny Designs, who is Bunny Designs on Ustream. And I always watch you on, seems like I always watch you on Ustream, Bunny, but do you upload your videos to YouTube? And then we have Laura. Laura's been doing some, I see hers on YouTube. So if y'all put your channel names in there and show everybody your channels, I'll repeat them when I see them, so that y'all can go watch those two streamers and video makers who do color books as well. Bunny does a lot with watercolor. Yes, they do remind you of Super Mario, don't they? The red ones, the red mushrooms. Yeah. Okay, so I'm right up on the edge. So I'm going to pick this up. I don't want to get it on the next page, although it's never a problem if it happens. You just paint over it or color over it, but make sure that if you are on the edge there, lift up your page or put something behind it, which I always recommend to do anyway. And I'm not doing it at the moment, but you should probably have something behind your page just to protect it from dents if you're color penciling or anything going through. Although you really want to test, especially if you have a double-sided page, you don't want it to go through. So you want to make sure and test what will go through and what won't. Yeah, Laura is Anxiety Art Adventures on YouTube. Anxiety Art Adventures. And Bunny, do you upload to YouTube? I can't remember because I watch you on Ustream. For some reason, I just go to your Ustream, but I'm not sure. Hey, Miss Allie, you like the gray and the purple? Yeah, I liked it together too, Leah. Thank you. So I'm going to just darken it up a little in some areas. And anybody else that wants to talk about their channel, we let you promote yourselves here. Promote your channel, your YouTube, your Ustream, your Etsy, your blog, your design team, the classes you're taking with whoever. You're all welcome to talk about them. Carol, okay, bye, Carol Renee. Thank you. Thanks so much. Shell, tell me the name of your channel so I can repeat it. Because the name of your show's not showing up there. Oh, that's Laura's. Okay, yeah, Laura L is art, anxiety art. Well, now I missed what it was. It's already scrolled off. I said it a minute ago. Sorry. I'll say it again. I'll say it again too. Because when you post a link, it doesn't tell me the name of the channel. Bunny Designs. Yeah, Bunny Designs. Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. Central. Is that U.S. time, Bunny? Because Bunny's in UK. Anxiety Art Adventures. Thank you. I was close. Okay, so there's, and that's just the base coat right there, right? Now, it is buckling a little bit, but that doesn't bother me. But you want to be even more aware of how much water you're adding if you want no buckling at all. So you're just going to have to do layers and layers very gently and dry in between. A little buckling doesn't bother me. And this page, this is a thicker page. Some of the color books I work in are it's practically copy paper thin. So, and I'll still put water on them. That's U.S. time on Tuesdays. Okay, thanks, Bunny. 9 a.m. Central. I'm Eastern time, so that would be 10 Eastern time. Bunny Designs. Tuesdays. Be there. Or be square. All right, now I'm going to pick up a little bit of this purple, just a touch somewhere else. So I'm going to just pull a little bit over here. I need a sip of coffee, guys. Hang on. And I don't know what yet, but something over here needs to have a little bit of purple. All right, I'll go with these little dots. And really, I shouldn't be doing these berries now. I should be doing these later. Because now I've got to paint around these berries. But I've gone with it now, so I'm going to go with it. It's just these little dots in here. Because, it is watercolor. So when I go to touch anything next to it, it will smear. Just saying. Just saying. And this is just going to be my base coat. I mean, I'm going to try to do as much shading as I can with the watercolor, but, Doesn't bother me one bit to go in there and shade with pencil on top of it later. Whatever works. Make it work. Okay, let's come over here and let's do a couple of those little berries. And I know I'm not zoomed in, guys, but this is just the watercolor base. Hopefully you can see it okay. I will post pictures when we're done. And we're not going to finish it today. Just saying, we're not going to finish this today. But just give you another start on another book. Because, you know, we can't have too many color books going at once. Can't we? All right, now, I think I want the little path. I think I'm going to go with the sienna color. Too much there. I've got to kind of pull some off. There we go. And again, I'm going right up to the edge. I think I'll throw in a little bit of yellow ochre in that too. Let's do a yellow ochre and sienna. So it's just not a flat color. A path. Does the pencil work well over the watercolor? It doesn't give it quite as much tooth. Somebody asked in chat, does the watercolor, does pencil, Prismacolor pencils, that's the ones I pretty much use, go over the watercolor like it does acrylic? The watercolor does not have the same tooth, the little bit of texture that acrylics give. So it still works. You can still color pencil over it just fine, but it doesn't have quite the tooth that acrylic paint gives it. So I guess the answer would be no, but it still works. It works, but not as texture. It doesn't have the same amount of tooth as acrylic paint. It would be cute to make it look like the ground lights up where the kitty steps. Oh, that would be cute. And if I did something like that, I'd do acrylic paint. I'd put that in with acrylic paint after the fact. Those little, you know, or color pencil, like you've seen me do. Let's see, is it in this book? And I gotta be careful not to close the book. Yeah, here, in this page right here. This page right here, although there is Stickles glitter on there, see the glow around it? That's done with color pencil. That glow is done with color pencil, and then of course there is there's wanting to flash out, guys. There we go. Stickles glitter glue on top of it, but that glow right there, that is just color pencil on top, and this is acrylic paint. That is the black. You could do that with the cat foot here. After everything's colored, you could do that with color pencil. Thanks, guys. All right, so I'm not sure, what do I want the background to be? Like, you know, I love doing my black acrylic backgrounds, but I'm trying to use watercolor this time. So we could do a day sky. It could be, I'll think about it for a minute. Let me go ahead and let me wet down gotta add some more water here to all I do is just spray water on top of my paints to get them wet again. All right, so I love me some olive green. So I'm gonna get some olive green, just a touch of a darker green in there, like a darker olive. Okay, so now I'm gonna pick out some of these leaves here. You're welcome. Thanks, Scooby, for being here. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. So I think I'll do, no, I don't want it on that mushroom. I think I want to do all these variegated leaves. I might touch a bit of yellow in there. But kind of have them all in olive color. And I know it's probably not showing up really well right now, guys, but oh, and I need to do those little dots that are growing there. I want to just distinguish them from the stars in the sky. But those little berries there, I want to keep them purple as well. Okay, so nuts, mushroom. Here's one of the leaves right here. So again, we're just kind of doing a base coat of watercolor to start with. A little too much on that. Knock that back a little. If you have any questions, just put them in caps. Otherwise, we're just painting along. An orange-red sky would be good. Yeah, that would be pretty too. Could do it red and, well, you got to be careful with it. You don't want it to look like fire. I don't want it to look like the woods are on fire. It is a good effect, but you got to be careful not to, make it look like the sky's on fire. But we could do it, or the woods, because we're close up on the woods here. Alrighty. So I'm going to just a couple shades of green, then maybe just a touch of yellow ochre in there, just to kind of give it little bit of different bit in there. And again, if you want to darken it up and make layers, it's best to let each layer dry. This is just a very, basic background at the moment. Yellow and pink. Yellow, pink, and blue, like it's a sunset or something. Alright, one more now in here. Just kind of looking for all those same kind of leaves. There, and there's one right there. It's another little mushroom. Is that, I guess, it could be a different color. I'll just go with the same color. I'm going to go with the same color. And again, you could color them all different. It could be a psychedelic world. It could be anything you want. Alright, back to some of these little hanging berries. Alright. Do this one over here now. Next. Well, there's actually 3 of them right here, so let's just go ahead and get all 3 of them blocked in. And there's little tiny dots on them. What I'll do is after this is dry and I've completely done all the work on these, I'll go back in there with a Posca pen or a paint pen or a gel pen and put white dots back on top of it. To make some little tiny dots, because like these are like folded up ones that haven't bloomed out yet, like that. Okay. Let's see. The same color code Dede is using. And does anyone know what the sponge? Yeah, the sponges that come in it are for wiping off, but I don't like the feel of those sponges when I touch them. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. It's like when I touch chalk. When I use chalk, I mean, I have had to do it before, life drawing or, use chalk or charcoal or anything like that. I just don't like the feel of the dryness of it. It's like the nails on the chalkboard thing. Some people just, different feel things. Well, that's the same thing. Those sponges in here made they're dry. I took them out. Just looking at them was kind of giving me the creeps. I use a Kleenex to dab off. I just use a Kleenex. Okay, now I am thinking, I love me some yellow ochre. It's so hard not to use yellow ochre on all this background to start. I think I will, just to give it the start. Okay, so this is what I do when there's a big area of stuff like all these weeds. Now, I should not have done those little purple dots at this stage, because now I've got to paint around them. But I'm going to go in here with the yellow ochre. Let's go and see. I just use whatever little spot I can find here to mix paints on. I gotta add a little bit more water. Okay, so let me test this out. Yeah, that's a little too. Let me get it a little. Okay, so I want these big leaves, I think, to be a yellow ochre. I need a little bit more lighter. Let's lighten that up just a little. So I want these bigger leaves to be here. So what you can do, though, if you weren't like so anxious and get in a hurry to get ahead of yourself and put all those purple dots, I could have done almost like a wash with this over the whole thing. But now that I put those little dots, yeah, they're creepy sponges. Now that I've, yeah, J-Lab. Now that I've put those purple dots in there, I'm got to, paint around them now rather than just like do a nice little quick wash. But that's okay. We'll just do a little take your time bit here. Yes. So all these bigger leaves here. And again, this is just the base coat. We'll go in there and shade and other things. It's just the base coat. I gotta keep it a little bit more yellow to it. I don't want it to go brown on me. I want it to be kind of a brighter yellowy gold color. And I know I'm not zoomed in on Trippy the tripod today. Nah, watercolors aren't scary. Remember, you can paint over or pencil over, especially if you're in a color book, for goodness sake. I mean, if I hadn't had those those purple dots right there, I literally, guys, would have just colored this whole thing orange or yellow ochre-y orange. But now I'm having to, go in there and paint around everything. Because the thing is, DRD or anybody else, is you can go in there with pencil and cover up anything. Trust me. You can cover up all this paint with pencil. Fear not the color book. You're the boss of your color book. You use water and then pencil detail, and I pencil and detail in the watercolor. Yeah, I just like to have a base to work on top of with the pencil. So this is like my base coat, and then I put the pencil on top. Those couple little leaves could be a different color. I think I'll go back with that olivey green on those. Okay, here's one more up here. But there's, whatever works. Try different things. Try different things. My favorite is still acrylic. I love acrylic paint and then painting, a penciling on top of acrylic. Because I like the tooth that the acrylic paint gives me. And when I say acrylic paint, I just mean craft paint. I use Americana. It's just plain matte acrylic paint. Doesn't say matte on it, but if you go to look for Americana, it says satin or it says gloss. That's not the matte. This doesn't specify matte, but it doesn't say satin or gloss. You love the yellow leaves. Oh, yeah, I like it too. Thanks, guys. It's just that I shouldn't have put the purple dots until I finished with the leaves. Or finished, with the yellow leaves. That's okay. Just chill and color. But you can see how far I'm getting with just one little swipe of the brush in here. Look how far that paint is carrying on my water brush. See how much I'm getting here before I'm even reloading? I have not reloaded any of this. It's just the same bit that I picked up. And I'm not squeezing out any water. It's just kind of flows off the brush when it touches the paper. It's like the paper is pulling it. But you see how far it's going? It's still going. Okay, now I'm going to pick up a little bit more and then get all these down here. And again, I know I'm not zoomed right up on it with Trippy the tripod. And some of these are going to be that olive green. Which if I had done the full, if I had taken and just done a wash of this orange over all of this, then what I would have done is gone in there and colored those long leaves that I want olive with pencil. Just right over the top. Right over the top of the orange. Okay, so now I'm going to go up and do these. Yeah, it's DRD's. She tried to get me to sing happy birthday to her, but I wouldn't do it. Remember, I'm not squeezing the water out of this brush. The only time I'm squeezing any water out is when I want to clean the brush. Then I'll squeeze it out to get the brush clean. Alright, that's looking pretty good. See, like now, I'm squeezing out some water to clean it off. Alright, so I'm going to go about 30 more minutes, guys, and then we're going to, call it a day. All right, I want these little bluebell things to be kind of, let's go back over here to I want it kind of a darker, I'm going to add some water to this. I'm going to go over here to I'm going to get a little bit more mixed. Make me up some more Payne's Gray here. Because I kind of want them a little bit on the same color as the cat. Although I'll probably go in there with extra white highlights after, later with pencil. But I want these little, I know they're like bluebells or something. They're technically it's probably bright blue, but I want them a darker blue. And again, there's little dots on them. I can go back in later with the Posca or gel pen and highlight those little white dots. Or any color, actually. It doesn't have to be white, but... Okay. All right, let's see about the snail. Oh, wait, let me go back to my greens here. I'm going to let my greens down again. Make me another little batch. Make me another little batch of green. And go in here. Some of these background green. And you can get in there with color pencil later for sharper detail, or gel pens for that matter. If y'all like using the gel pens for those tiny details, gel pens in those little bitty areas. I'm trying not to touch those purple berries very much. I kind of am here and there, but so I'm just going to get that dark green in there. And again, this is just the initial wash that I'm going to work on top of, either with more more watercolor or more pencil. But it's just getting it base coated. And you don't have to try to hurry, like I'm kind of trying to get through this in the next 30 minutes to have the whole background done. You don't have to go this fast. And again, I know I'm not zoomed in and don't have it on the tripod, but we will do, when I do color in the details, I'll have it on Trippy, the tripod, so you're right up on it again when we color with pencil. Okay. Thanks again, everybody, for being here. Got a little too much water on my... Let's see how far up I want to go with the background green. Thanks, Laura. Thanks. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody that watches and subscribes and follows and all that. Thank you. A little too much. All right. And trust me, if you color one thing, you think it should have, oh, I should have had that be yellow and I colored it green. Miss Hannah's not going to email you. She's not going to email you and say that was supposed to be green. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you got it. Yeah. Hey, Susan TB. And this, again, this is just the initial wash, guys. You can do so much, shading and blending with watercolor. And then also color pencil. But this is just getting some color down on there. All right. So let's see. The mushroom stems and the mushroom under the mushrooms. Let's see where I want to go with that. I think I'm going to go with more of a sienna for right under, too much paint there. Right under the mushrooms, still too much paint. The underneath of the mushrooms, I think I'm going to have sienna. I'm trying to kind of keep it all kind of a same kind of tone here. And then probably, let's go with the brighter yellow for the stems, which will be shaded down. We're just going to start with a nice bright yellow, just to make them stand out a little. Then we'll go up to the snail and do the same color. See, I'm carrying some of this color. You carry it all the way around. Got me addicted to I know, I love me some color pencils. If you take one color and go in different places with it, it makes it cohesive. You know? Like I use some of the blue here and here. Then I use the olive green. Then I use the yellow, the orange. Then some yellow here, but then some yellow here. Now I got to decide what color I want the actual snail body. I think I want it to be sienna too. I want it to be a sienna. Again, that's sienna. I'm picking up a lot of that. Let's do that now. And maybe the branch too, like he's kind of blending into that branch. And you really don't need to go in here and watercolor those little antennas or these little branches. You can do that with pencil later. But I'm just kind of showing the colors I'm using there. You know, these are the colors that I want to use. All right. What color will you do your background? Yeah, that was the question, honey Jill, earlier. Personally, I'd like to do it black. I would like to do it black. That's just, I love me some black background. Now I'm thinking maybe a gray wash. You know, like a dark gray and gradiate it, ombre it. You have a bunch of tombos. I think I will try for underpaint. The only thing with the tombos, yeah, I have found that the tombos don't blend very well. Like see how I got that gradient kind of purpley watercolory look? I found, and it's been years since I used them, granted. Maybe they've, improved, but I don't remember the tombos blending well. Like one color to the other or being able to do this with, but maybe, But just for a flat color, like when I use acrylic paint, it would be a flat color, right? And then I would go, like for instance, if I was using acrylic paint on this would be just a flat purple, like magenta color, whatever. It would just be a flat color, and then I would do all this light, medium, and dark kind of shading bit. I would do that part with color pencil. But try anything. Try all of it, guys. Really. You just never know. You never know what you're going to like till you try. And, have a test page in the back or in the front or whatever. Don't be afraid to use something as a test page to just see what will work with what. How do I learn color combos? Do I have to go to... No, you don't have to go to art school. It takes you forever to pick colors. Well, again, my recommendation would be to make you color charts with all your supplies and like, well, here, like we did the lettering. Where's my letter? Here. Start by being able to blend colors. If you can blend them, then you start to see many, many colors with just a couple colors, and try to take a green and a blue, or take a yellow, just try to mix your own. The more you mix your own colors and see colors, the more you're going to see what works together. But if you mean like, how did I put purple, green, and this blue, that just kind of, I don't know, I can't say, because it's not a formula. It's just not a formula for why you pick colors that you like that go together. But let me tell you this site to get color combination ideas. And we've done color shows here before where we've talked about it. Go to design-seeds.com. I think that's what it is, design-seeds.com. And every day they show you a new color combination. You go look right now. So DRD, that's what I'm telling you. Yeah, go to design-seeds, and there's multiple. You can go to you can go to Lowe's, Lowe's.com or Home Depot, And, you know, they'll show you color combinations. Okay? But Design Seeds will email you, or you can just go to their site every day. You don't have to get an email from them every day. And they show you like I think it's a 6 color combination every day. Do some more of the Design Seeds. Yeah, I guess we should do that show again, Eileen. It's been a while where we've taken color combinations and done things with the Design Seeds as a prompt. Yeah. Good idea, Eileen. Good idea. If you want to see color combinations, though, that's the kind of place to get ideas. But after doing it after you do a lot of it, you just kind of know what colors you like and go together. So now see how I'm darkening that up with another layer? Yeah. And white pencil will go over this, so yeah. Yeah, I did too, Eileen, and I forgot about that. We had so much fun doing all those color combination shows. I've got, I don't know how many notebooks, guys. Notebooks and notebooks and notebooks full of color combination things that we've done over the years. Okay, so, all right, so for instance, like the yellow right there, that's a real bright yellow. It's not showing up on camera, but that is like a lemon yellow. No, it's not wonderful. So I'm going to go in here now and just do a little bit darker yellow, like maybe one shade darker, and just put a little bit of shadow right in there. And again, you can do this with some with watercolor and some with color pencil. Or you can do it all with watercolor or all with color pencil. Or a combination thereof. All right, so I'm going to get a couple more of these little that I've missed here and there. I missed a couple. Here's one. There's a flamingo today on sea. Oh no. Is there really, Terry? Oh my gosh. There's a sorry, Eileen. There's a flamingo on Design Seeds today. I haven't seen it, Terry. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Eileen. I was not trying to waylay you to a flamingo. All right, so let's see. I don't know. I really want to do the sky black. That's just me. I really want to do the sky black. So I'm going to. And I'm going to do it in acrylic. All right, so here's the thing about, I mean, I could watercolor it black, but I really wanted a dark black, and I want stars. Because I just think that's going to make these colors pop if it's black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get, and then we're going to go after that. Let me get a piece of wax paper. That would be the best. Because when I'm painting, I don't want to, get the black paint on the next page. So I'm going to put some wax paper there. All right. You were warning her. Okay. All right, so I'm going to just kind of move my water brush. And the other thing is I never use my water brush for acrylic paint. I don't know if I've said that recently. Do not use, not that you, I guess you could, but you're taking the risk of really getting any acrylic paint in there and ruining it. Do not use your water brushes for acrylic paint. All right. Let's put this out of the way. All right. Let's see. All right. Sip of coffee. Move these pencils and scissors. All right, let's grab some black acrylic paint. I'll just use a little coffee lid. I usually use the big ones, like this size here. Like this size of coffee lids, but I have a little one today. So we're just going to put a little bit of black acrylic paint. Again, it's just the Americana. And now they have deco art up here. Let me see. Here's an old one. They've just changed the label to bring the deco art label up to the top. Same paint, but they've just moved the label from there to there. And remember, it doesn't say satin and it doesn't say gloss. It's just plain black acrylic paint. All right, let's see. Let me get a brush here. I'll need a couple sizes. I'll need a small one to get into smaller areas and a little bit of a medium size. All right, so when I color or when I paint in a background with acrylic paint and they have stars or something already there, this is just me. I don't even try to remember where they are. I just paint right over them. And I'll put my own back in there later. They have an advert on BBC at the minute that is yeah, the water brush will get crusty. But I always dampen my brushes. I just get them wet. They're not drippy wet. They're just damp, just to get them, damp before you go into acrylic paint so that the paint just flows better. Anyway. So I'm going to start, and again, I got a piece of wax paper here. I'm going to start with the bigger areas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get close. Now you can do a couple things. You can do like I'm getting ready to do here, where I'm getting close to the edges of things. Then I'll go in there with a smaller brush and get right up on it. You can also, now you have to make sure your black is really flat, black, and solid. If you want to get right up on there with like a pen, like a pit pen or a brush, well, you use a brush pen too, but any kind of a ink brush, a brush pen or a technical pen, like a pit, the Faber-Castell pit pen, you can get in there with that. However, be careful. Do not use a Sharpie. It'll go right through. Unless it's a one-sided page, then you don't care. But this is a double-sided page, and I don't want ink going through. So you always have to test everything. And trust me, every color book is different. What you think is going to not go through on one will go through on another. So you really need to test every pen, paint, marker, whatever you use with each individual color book, because the paper, even though you think, oh, that's thick, like Hanna's color book was kind of thick. And the same thing, I'm not going to try to paint around. See those little dangly, stamens or whatever they are in the flowers? I'm going to paint right over those. I'll redraw those back in. I don't want to try to paint around those. So all I'm doing now is just getting the big areas, kind of, just getting some paint on the big areas, and I'm going to go in here with the smaller brush and get right up on it. You used to be afraid? Don't be afraid. No fear in color books. And if you mess up something, either paint over it or just learn from it. So the next time you say, oh, well, I'm not going to do that. Like I should have known not to put those berries on there at first. All right, same thing for his cat whiskers. I'm not going to try to paint around all that. I'll just redraw it in. And it may not be exactly where Hanna put those whiskers, but that's okay. She's not going to email you, and none of us are going to notice. None of us are going to notice. What did DRD say? I missed something. Terry Purple. Oh, I missed something. Okay. I'm just going to keep carrying on. All right. So I'm just kind of getting in some of the big areas like that. Now I'll go to my smaller brush. Just a small brush. And you might even have to go smaller with a little tiny pointy brush in some of the areas. Okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get all the edges done. Anything that goes right off the edge, so I can get rid of this wax paper that's bugging me. So I'm just going to see any place that I have to go off the page. I'm going onto the wax paper right there. All right, that's it. Oh, wait, here's one up here. Any place I got to go off the edge. Okay, I think I got it all now. Now I can remove the wax paper. All right. All right, so this is kind of time consuming. I'm not going to say it's not. If you want to get in there and, like, you know, paint around each thing. I just like the way a flat black background looks, and then I can go in there. I'll try to get a little, at least a little section done where I can show you a couple of stars or a, you know, a glow around something. But I won't work on it again until we're on a show, so you can see the progression. And I will be zooming in on the next one. I'll have it on Trippy the tripod so we can zoom right up, get right up on it when you can see shading and stuff. Because like right now, I wasn't real concerned about getting right up on it because we're not doing a lot of shading or blending. We're just kind of blocking in. So you can get pretty close, and then, or you can get in there with color pencil too. You know, just depends on, you know, whatever you like to use. You don't have to get right up on it like that. Dede, I have a ton of golden paint. Do you have any idea if I can mix something with them so they don't stick? Yeah, I can't recommend what you could. There's probably some golden a type of golden medium that you could put in your golden paints. And she's talking about the golden, like in the tube, the artist grade paints, so that it doesn't make your pages stick in your art journal when you close it. That's why I like craft paint for art journaling. Craft paint for art journaling or color books, because it does not, at least my Americana, I can't swear for every single acrylic paint out there, but my Americana craft paints, as long as it's just the matte, it's not satin, it's not gloss, it will not stick your pages together. So, hey, Vicky. So I really can't recommend. There's probably somebody in the chat may be able to. I cannot recommend what will make the professional grade golden acrylic paints not cause your pages to stick together. You probably can mix it. Maybe you can mix it with matte medium. I don't know. I just wouldn't do it. And you know, they're expensive paints. I personally, and if you can afford it and do it, fine. I personally would not be painting my color book pages with you know, with it. But if you do something like that, I would recommend doing like a page you're going to tear out of a book, maybe frame or something, you know, not in a color book or an art journal. Yeah, and there you go. Time to experiment. That's so true. Because when I use a golden acrylics or any artist grade acrylics in the tube, it's on a canvas. It's not in a book. And I know there's things you can do in your art journals, like Shannon Green, Daddy Vans, whatever it is, wax, to wax your pages and all that. Way too much trouble for me. I'll varnish a page because I can varnish it, set it aside, and let it dry. I'm not one to really worry about, you know, if I have to worry about sticking, I don't know. That's just me. But, you know, there's ways to prevent your pages from sticking. All right, let's get up in here. And my brush is getting a little dry. I'm just going to get it dampen it, because the paint starts to crust, especially when you're using a tiny brush. The paint can really start to crust up quickly, especially like if you're under lights like this. It can dry your paint pretty quickly on the brush. So just get your brush damp again. And again, I'm not really worried about getting these branches perfect here, because I'm going to go over them with pencil. And I'm going to try to get enough done right up here on this area to show you something like that before we go. So thanks everybody again for being here. This is a part. Well, it's not part 2 of this. We did another episode earlier where I did my. And I know Vicki, you're just getting here. I'm redoing all your guys' names. I'm doing them in bubble letters and I'm laminating them. So I did get Terry, Eileen, and Sherry done. And see, I've got the rest of you guys, my mods, Janet, Vicki, Carrie, and Jean. I've got your names ready to go. So we already did that show earlier. It was fun. I had fun anyway. I love streaming. I love hanging out with you guys. So I can work and talk and we all exchange ideas and what we're doing, and it's just part of being one of the fibs. Friends in the box. So I think I'll make these little bluebell or these little bell things. I think I'll put a glow around them, like they're like little glowy, flowery lights. So we'll do that. At least get that much done. Because it's going to take me a while to color in all the background. I wanted to get out of here by, well, I'll stay a little bit longer. I'll go a little bit longer. It's just 12. Okay. And again, if you're kind of not sure of yourself getting in here with a paintbrush and painting around all these little things, then do it with your pencils. Do it with a pen. I haven't found that the Faber-Castell pens go through. They're real good about not going through, but again, always test them. It's better to do it with a pencil, like a black pencil, than a pen if you're not sure, because you know the pencil's not going to go through a paper to the other side, but you're never sure unless you test it if a pen will go through, or a marker or whatever. Oh, thanks, DB. Thanks for being here. Have a good day and a good weekend. I'll see you on Twitter. I need to do another picture of the mascots of the family, of all our sock monkeys and our elves. I need to do something else. Of course, you know, this week I've been taken up with my eyes, so I hadn't really been able to do too much. I did post something to Xandra when her Sophie came to visit. If y'all don't follow me on Twitter, we have fun over there. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. What doesn't go through? You said they don't go through in these books. I missed what they was. They scrolled off. I didn't see what they were. Yes, I am, Vicki. Thank you. I talked about it earlier. I can message you on Twitter later. But good. Thank you for asking. Oh, the Faber. Yeah, the Faber-Castell Pitt pens seem to not go through. I mean, I've had them even not go through on copy paper. Now, I'm talking about the pens, not necessarily the markers. I'm talking about like, and I don't have one right here, but like this kind of thing. This kind of pen, the Faber-Castell ones seem to not go through. But again, test. Don't have it go through and you email me. Patty painted in this book a background with favorite pastel artist pens. It does not bleed. Okay, so Karen has tested it in this book. Okay. Okay. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know what kind of ink formulation the Faber-Castell ink is compared to other, waterproof permanent marker pens. But, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here. Look, I still have all this, some more down in here a little bit. And, that probably wouldn't take me. Let me go ahead and get a small brush and get that done. Get her done. Okay. I need a pointy brush. Just need a point. It doesn't, look, just threw that one out. It doesn't have to be small. It just has to have a nice point on it. So that, here we go. It just, like this is actually a bigger brush than the last one I used, but see how pointy it is? So as long as it's got a good point and will hold the point, then you can get in those tiny areas, see? Where's Jean? I don't know. Jean's sleeping habits have been off. She's been staying up all night. When your eyes are 100% about a family portrait with the mascots. Yeah, that's too much to put on one thing. One of the girls, Suzanne, said I should do a family portrait with me, Hubster, and all the mascots. Most of my commissions and most of my portrait work is one, at the most, two people on one page. I don't do multiple people on a page. For one, you don't see the detail. If you get too many things on a page, too many people and or pets on one page, you don't see any detail. Uh-oh, got a little bit of wood on there or something. I always recommend buying plastic brushes. I don't leave my brushes in water, but eventually the paint will chip off of wood. Now, I don't want to say all of them. There's some nice brushes like my Master Touch brushes. Here's one. These are wood, but they're also varnished. See, this is wood, but it's varnished. So if there's not going to be any paint chipping off on that. Whereas these cheaper brushes, and I always buy cheap brushes except for a few Master Touches for detail or liner brushes. But the paint can eventually come off of these cheaper ones. So I recommend buying things like, let me find one here, like this. See, they're plastic. And you're not going to have any bits of paint chipping off and falling into your work. How do you get it so nice and flat? There's no water. Somebody asked, how do I get it nice and flat black like that? There is no water in it. I do not water down. Now, every now and then I have to get my brush wet because it's starting to dry in the brush itself, but I'm not adding any water. No water. It's right out of the jar. Now, sitting here under these lights, this will start to dry faster than if I wasn't under the lights, that I have for the filming. But there's no water in it. That's why. That's how it's so flat. Okay. I just ordered a sign writing chisel brush on a whim, a fancy that hit you after watching YouTube video. Yeah, I haven't done sign painting for a long time either. And most of the time when I have done, I used to do, y'all have seen my mural room where I painted murals. Well, for a while it was real popular. They were called floor cloths, but you didn't necessarily have to have them on the floor. You could have them on the wall. Essentially what they were is duck cloth, i.e. canvas, in a roll that you get at the craft store, and you still can, although I haven't priced it out lately or even looked for it lately. But it's canvas on a roll that you can buy by the yard, and it's called duck cloth in like Joann's Fabric. I'm sure that you could just go into probably Blick or one of the other places and get canvas on the roll. I don't know that it's called duck cloth there, but if you go to like a fabric store, you can buy what's called duck cloth, D-U-C-K, duck cloth, and it's canvas. And you know, I always bought the pre-gessoed kind. I didn't want to mess with it, but you can buy ungessoed and gessoed. And I would do like essentially murals on huge pieces of canvas. And they were, then I would make my own attachments, my own, like, let me draw a quick little picture here, like this. Like, let's just say maybe a 5 foot by 5 foot painting, right? It's like a painting on duck cloth. And you could put them on the floor too. They're called floor cloths too. You do the same thing with floor cloths. And you'd make your own little tabs out of it, neater than that, and you would hang it on a wood bar like this. Okay. And it's canvas, and you could either sew or glue your tabs. You know, there were tabs like this where you'd put your wood through and varnish it. You know, I would varnish mine, and they were big giant canvases. Well, I would also do giant calligraphies like this, giant 5 foot by 5 foot calligraphies. And sometimes I would use the brush, and sometimes I'd use a wide steel nib, and hand letter and hand calligraphy, you know, lines and lines and lines and lines of text. Yeah, you make your own tabs. Yeah. And now I haven't done those in years and years. Probably, maybe close to 20 years that I've done those. But I used to do a lot of them. And those are good. They were good at the time for commission work. You know, I don't know that anybody's hiring you to do any kind of thing like that anymore. Not you, but I mean, you know, I'm sure there's somebody. I gotta wet my brush. The paint is starting to crust up, so I gotta dampen my brush to flow through in here. But I would do those. I showed some pictures some years ago. I don't know if I've shown them here on YouTube, but I had some old, and this was before I even had, like, you know, before I had digital pictures or, you know, cell phones or anything like that. I'm trying to think of where I might have put some of those pictures. Let's see if I can think real quick, because I have them in little mini portfolios and little photo albums and stuff like that before I took digital pictures. Yeah, hanging wall art. Let me think. Let me look at, if it's not in this one thing here, then I'm gonna move my chair over here. I'll stand on a chair. Hang on. Let's see if it's in this particular one of these. All right, let's get down here now. Not a good idea to stand in your rolly chair. So I have all kinds of, like, here's some of my little mini photograph portfolios that just have all kinds of artwork, older artwork in it. Let me flip through and see if I can find. Okay, it's not in that one. Not in that one. Must be in this one, the one that's real coated with dust. Might be in this one. Let me just do a flip. Might be in. There's some of my mural commissions. Let's see. Hang on, guys. I'm looking real quick. I'm looking in particular for the floor cloth pictures, because it's been many years since I pulled those out. Let's see. One moment. Oh, there's an old chalk. Here's an old chalk. Now this was one I did. I did this on a show. Now this right here. Let's see. I can't think. It was 2008. Anyway, this is one of the few chalk drawings that I've done. Done on a stream. Still have any of those? Yeah, no, I don't have any of the. They were all commissions. I'm looking for a photograph right now, Mac. Um, After you started standing on a chair. I know, Vicky. Anyway, I did this one on a stream probably in 2008. I think that's what it says. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, it couldn't have been on Ustream. Well, it had to be. Then it's not. It doesn't say 2008. I can't read the date. Anyway, it was when I first started streaming and before I put on YouTube. But this right here is probably, it's on my art roll of craft paper. And it was probably about 4 by 5 feet, or at least 3 by 4. 3 by 4 feet at least. Anyway, this is all chalk. There's a pastel and chalk, and again, it's not showing up. But this was huge. This is huge. Some of y'all might have remembered. I don't remember why we did the blue jay with the Queen of Hearts. We had a reason when we did it. But anyway, I gave this to Cam, and it since got tore up or fell off his wall and got ruined. Anyway, but there's one of the few chalk pastel drawings that I've done. Here's one of the other ones, and I think I gave this one to Boo, and this is a giant betta fish. And again, this is like 3 by 4 feet. It's huge. It was huge. That's not what I was looking for. I'm looking for the mural thing. Here we go. All right, here's one. All right, so this one was, all right, imagine, this one was done, this was commissioned by a church. Imagine a piece of duck cloth, canvas, that was probably, I can't even remember how big it was, 6 by 8 feet, I think. I don't remember, guys. I think it was something like 6 by 8 feet, okay? And this is before the tabs were on it, but it was to hang on a wall, and they wanted it to look like an open Bible with a verse on it. Well, it's actually a psalm, a complete psalm. And you got to imagine, before I show it to you, imagine like about 6 by 8 feet, and imagine all the letters are about this big, okay? So this is a photograph of it. Now, it's done like that. This is not a bent piece of cloth. It's made to look like it is, you're looking at it like this, because it's going to hang on a wall and you're going to look up at it. So you got to imagine you're looking up at it like this, but this is flat. And this is all, it's made to look like it's a page that's humped, if you will. And you can't even see the gold over here, but here's the ribbon. Can you kind of see the ribbon going around right there? Again, guys, it's not very focused, but so this right here was 6 by 8 feet, about, if I can remember right. It's huge. So yeah. So it's just one big flat piece of canvas, but it's made to look, like a book. Yeah. So there's one. I'm trying to see if I had any others in here. Oh wait, here's a close-up of it. Is this a close-up of the same thing? Maybe. Okay, so yeah, here's a close-up of the side of this. So just so you can kind of see. It's not that much close-up and it flashed out. This is just taken with like a regular old camera. It's not even anything. But you can see the pages a little bit right there. So that's a little close-up of it anyway. Yeah. So yeah, so that's all done on duck cloth, and then you can attach your own, like maybe about 2-inch wide hangers to the back, and then all this would hang on a wooden dowel. It would hang on a wooden dowel. So anyway, it's been a while since I pulled this one out. Pulled this little portfolio out. Old pictures of my studio, and these are old pictures of painting. Well, this is an acrylic paint. Actually, this is one. Rabbit trail. This is actually some of my older acrylic. I have done like this one right here. And again, they're just old photographs, the kind you print out, right? Like that you take to somewhere and have printed out. This is from... So they're not even really good pictures. I have this one hanging in my house. Let's see what else. Okay, so this one right here, I'll show you some, again, sorry for the quality of the pictures, guys, because, again, these are when I would take pictures and literally take them to the store to get printed. Now I print everything myself. This was before I even well, not before I scrapbook, but before I, like, did what we know is scrapbooking, you know. I've always taken pictures and kept them in books, but you know what I mean, the difference. But this is one of those wooden tables. Those round wood tables are about, you know, I don't know, this big around with the 3 or 4 legs. And this was a painting I did of a compass excuse me, a compass road in a checkerboard design. That's one of those round tables. So, and what else do I have in here? Really bad pictures of everything. I mean, this is like terrible pictures. Oh, there's another one of the... I was trying to see if there's... Okay, so here... Oh, that one's faded out too. They're all faded. Okay, here's one. This was a one with a name of a person. See, look how... I mean, even the picture's faded. With... Let's see. Okay, here's the top. Here's the top of one of a banner. Here's a banner. There's the top. That's what the hangers would look like. I'm just looking through here, guys. I don't even remember. Okay, so here's the full name. Here's a full name one. Terrible. Sorry for the terrible pictures. These are very old. Okay, here's a couple of the floor cloths. All right, here's a little Beatrix Potter. This floor cloth was probably about 3 by 4 feet. I'm thinking about 3 by 4 feet. As were these cows. They were about 3 by 4 feet. I mean, this guy's, I'm talking like these are over 20 years old. Let's see what else. Here's another one of the cow ones. But these are all those duck cloths, and they're varnished floor cloths. This was a commission. It was a... It's like a house with windows and a door, and there's the banner things hanging up there, and it's hands over the house, and you put your photos in there. What else? What else? I'm looking, guys. I think that's all. I don't have a lot of pictures of the floor cloths. Anyway, these are old, guys. I'm talking 20, 25 years. And even over here, I got some here that are from 1988. So, yeah, very old. All right, let me get this out of the way so we can finish up this. Yeah, there's a little trip down memory lane. Okay, so now this is dry. It's pretty dry. All right, so what I want to show you now, and it did curl a little. All you have to do is kind of work it back so, you know, it's uncurled. No big deal. It might be to you, but it's not to me. Okay, so now I'm going to let me just do a quick little bit of, let me get some white pencil. Where's my white pen? Here it is. And some black pencil. And let me sharpen really well here. So sorry, if y'all asked me any questions during that quick little rabbit trail, I didn't see it. I've not yet. Yeah. Oh, I got artwork in my closet, guys. Trust me, the closet you can't get in. I literally have 4 to 6 feet and of big old art in the closet that nobody gets to see. That's in the closet nobody gets to see. Although years ago, probably about 6 years ago when I first started streaming, I did pull some of those old art pieces out from, you know, I'm talking 30, 40 years ago. I'm talking old art. Old art. Okay, so now what I want to do though is I want to do a kind of a glow around these. Let me go ahead and do the Posca bit first, because these little bluebell things have those little stamen things that are kind of, you know, that I painted over, and I'm not worried about putting them back exactly where they were. I'm going to just put them where I want. Let me see. Let me try to zoom in real quick, because I am doing something kind of close up, guys. Now let's see if I can get the thing to focus. I don't know. I might have zoomed in too much, but I think you're going to be able to just get the idea anyway. So I'm just going to put those little those little stamen things that are hanging out of the little bluebells or whatever they are. Like that. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my white. Again, these branches right here, we can either do them in, I can either do them in white or, you know, another brown or whatever. Let me just go ahead and put a little bit in there, because once I put the glow around them, it's hard to get back in there. Alright, so I'm going to put a little bit of the design back on the top. And that one comes behind there. Okay. And again, you can come in here with your pencil and sharpen all that back up. Your black pencil or your Pitt pen. See, I'm just going to kind of sharpen those stems. Any place I didn't get real right up on there, where I didn't get right up on it with my paint. And now I'm going to take my white. Amazon said my Poscas were delivered today. Good, Laura. Yeah, if you're going to order a whole bunch of them, like Jean has whole sets of them. Like she has whole sets of, you know, the thin line, the medium, the thicker tips, and all that. I just ordered just the white. I think it's a 0.7, and I just get them at Jet Pens. But if you're going to probably order like the whole sets, they're, you know, they can get pricey. It's probably best to do it on Amazon. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of, I want to put like a glow, kind of a glow around. So I'm just going to kind of circle around each one. Like that. And you can go in there with a little bit of yellow. This is too green. Let me get an actual yellow. Nope, that's cream color. I gotta sharpen. You don't have any prime. Okay, so now I'm going to just kind of put a little bit of right up next to it. Just, and I don't want it to have a yellow circle, but I want it to look like it could be having a little bit of a yellow glow to it. And now I'm going to take my white, and you gotta kind of do it gently. I mean, I'm barely touching. See how you can kind of make a little kind of a glow look to it, but I'm barely touching it. Barely touching. Just so it kind of has that essence of glow. So see how the cat's looking up at it? And then I can also get back in here with, let me get a gray. I don't have my pencils right next to me. I should just move them over here. All right, so let's get a kind of a blue-gray. And I want to add a little bit more shadow, a little bit more color. to each one. And then maybe there's just a little touch of highlight. And maybe a darker gray. Right in the little stem. Actually, it could probably go with even black. Let's see. Where's my black? Just kind of in the stem. Shadow in there. And then fade it in with a little bit of the gray. And then I want to just do a couple stars just so y'all, well, I think everybody's seen me do stars a gazillion times. But just to kind of get a little bit more going with the... It's kind of a little bluebell effect. The little glow on the side. But anyway, just a few little light kind of lines like that, just to give it like that glowy look. Okay. And then, where's my Posca? And you could also splatter this if you're brave. You can splatter this so that they're imperfect. And all your stars are going to be kind of, they're not going to be this perfect, is what I'm saying. If you splatter, which I like the splatter look better because it does look more imperfect. But we're going to just add a few here. And then you can take one or two. And you can always do a shooting star. So let's do one shooting star here. So I'm just going to put that down like that. Just keep adding. But what I'm going to do is, now I got to make sure that's dry. Let me hit it with the heat gun. Now you can take a color, maybe a little blue, maybe a little white, and just kind of make your little couple of stars stand out a little, and your shooting star can feather out like that. Okay? And you can keep on. You can do a few, do a little whatever, but I don't recommend doing this till you're completely done. When you're completely done with, all your coloring, because all this is not done yet, right? All of your other coloring's not done. And I think we'll put a little glow. All right, hit that with that heat gun. Hang on. And we'll put a little glow around the little antenna. He's got his little headlights on. His little snail headlights. Little snail headlights, right? Okay, well, I guess we're going to stop, guys. We're going to stop with the snail headlights. And so, see how the cat's looking up at it? But this is not, none of the rest of this is done yet, guys. But you get the idea, right? So, you don't have any questions or anything? It's cute, yeah. I thought that just happened. I didn't plan that. Okay, a little yellow ochre, a little blend. Alright guys, well I'm going to head out. Don't forget Barb Owen comes on YouTube streaming at 2, unless she, as far as I know, I haven't seen her canceling or anything, so y'all peruse the awesomeness that is Barb at 2 every Friday on YouTube. Did I say YouTube? I meant YouTube, yeah. Streams on YouTube. So, there we go. All right, guys. The snail needs lights in the dark. That's right. I could put one on his little tail. Now that would look too much like lightning bug, right? We could do. Oh, I know what we could do. One other thing. Let's do this. Right in the center of the shell. Let's do a little star. So let me just kind of hit that with the heat gun, and then I'll touch it with the pencil. Now we'll just kind of feather it, kind of give it more of a little glowy look. And if you get it somewhere you don't want, you just kind of... So there we go. Something like that. What do you think, guys? Got a little star inside the... There. Gotta have fun with it, guys. We gotta have fun with our work. Alright, guys. So we'll see you guys later. You're welcome, DRD. Happy birthday again. And yeah, we'll see you Monday. As we say, the good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Bye, guys.